Good morning, Redbox family. I must say that I am a little disappointed because I think a lot of you are getting played this morning. We've been talking about all of the options that were due to be delivered today because they have T+2 settlement. So everything that was in the money and was exercised on Friday, the market makers need to deliver today. So guys, they are desperate for your shares and they are going to pull every trick in the book to try to get them from you. It's just the mentality, and after watching Redbox for months and then seeing them add the options in and knowing that the only reason they were added to begin with is because of pure desperation and how badly they needed shares, and to see that they took it away from us the minute that CSSE deal came into place, and they knew they were screwed, guys, because that's what they weren't expecting. They truly believed that Redbox was going to go bankrupt and that they weren't coming back. Their goal was to just keep shorting the crap out of the stock until it went to nothing. Absolutely nothing. We have seen it done to so many companies. I mean, seriously, guys, they even tried to do it with AMC and GME. If the apes didn't find out the manipulation that was going on in those plays and bring it to everyone's attention, do you think those companies would still be here? Do you think they would have survived the pandemic? I highly doubt it, guys. Well, they tried to do that same exact thing to Redbox. And this morning they're playing you and they're playing on your emotions. The sooner that you guys are able to realize that the market is based on emotion and they use emotions to try to get people to make decisions. I want to look at the chart and I want to just show you how that was done this morning, because if you don't educate yourself and if you don't become aware of what they're doing, you're going to keep falling for the same trap over and over and over again, guys. And what they want you to do is to buy high and sell low out of fear that you're going to lose your money. That's their goal. What retail needs to do as smart investors is buy low and sell high. We buy in moments where everyone else is fearful. Like this morning would have been a great time, in my opinion, not financial advice, but to take advantage of the fear of others and to buy up that dip, guys. I wish that I saw this before I made last night's video, because I would have said something totally different with what I said there. But guys, that just goes as far as buying the dip because of the title of the video. I'm not saying I would have changed the whole video altogether, but I didn't think it was going to get as bad as they allowed it to get this morning, and as bad as it obviously shows me. It's not just the manipulation, it's people selling out of fear, and that's their goal. All right, let's look at this chart. And again, please remember that everything in these videos is my opinion based on my education and what I've learned over the years in the market. And guys, it's your money. It's your choice whether you buy, hold, sell. You know, at the end of the day, you're accountable for your own actions and your own money. I will tell you, I still have not sold a single share because I see what's going on. And I know the potential that today has to be huge if you guys don't let the emotions come into play. All right, 1 sec, I'm going to pull up the... Okay, guys, I'm using the 5-minute chart. So, like I said in last night's video, we see that we just barely had a crossover, right? But they immediately shot it right back down. So that 13 slightly crossed above that 48. My green slightly crossed above my purple, but then they pulled it right back down and we had consolidation, guys. I truly expected, based on the candlestick that we saw last night, which was this right here at 8 p.m., that this morning it was going to go green at 4 a.m. But guess what happened? You see it did go up more, but they immediately pulled it right back down and people started getting fearful. And you see consolidation at a lower level. You see some people buying back up at 11:20 again. Guys, this little buying up here, my guess is Again, they were hunting. Last night, did people put, in stop losses if it gets to a certain number, or sell orders if it gets to a certain number? And I believe that possibly they put in sell orders for if it hits 1120, and that's why you see this little spike up here. But then, guys, immediately right back down. And then you see it trying to make progress, trying for the candle to break above that 48 SMA. But it doesn't quite get there, okay? Now that's at about probably 5:15 a.m. based on down here where you see the 5 and 7, okay? Possibly 5:30, somewhere in that field. Anyways, until then, obviously, there's not a lot of people up at this time that are buying and selling Redbox right now. So again, guys, we get over to 7 a.m., which is when the market becomes pre-market, becomes very active. A lot of people start at 7 a.m. getting up and checking their stock. So what do, guys? This right here, where you see all of these red candles like this is called a short ladder attack. And this is a combination of them shorting the stock to try to create fear, but also people waking up and looking at their shares at 7 a.m. and saying, oh crap, this is really going down. I need to do something. I need to sell, and not thinking about the whole mentality of why. Why is this going down here? Guys, this is going down because market makers have T+2 to settle those transactions from Friday. And if they don't deliver, they become FTDs, failure to delivers. So they are going to try to scoop up shares for as cheap as possible. And guess what? Clearly it worked, because look at buy, 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 buy. Now we're consolidating again. And again, this big green candlestick at 8 a.m., more people are waking up in the market, okay? Probably checking on Redbox once again, saying, oh crap, I see that it's hit below $10. Below $11. What do I do? And they decided not to think that this is just pre-market, guys. And this is where a lot of the manipulation comes into play, because the volume is low. And market makers is who I'm referring to when I say they. Market makers are easily able to manipulate a price, whether it be to the upside or to the downside. So again, they need shares, guys. They've managed to create fear because people are saying, oh man, I went, yesterday when market closed, the stock was at $11.60. It's down $1 today. What am I going to do? Well, guys, you can clearly see that more people sold, but more people bought here, because people realize what today is and what's going on. And this buying could be, coming in from the market makers, and it could be retail, the smarter side of retail that knows this is a great opportunity because they have all these FTDs due today. They do have FTDs due today, but they also have all of these shares from T+2 settlement that were in the money, those options that they need to deliver on today, guys. So I'm just trying to show you what game is being played, because as soon as you can be on the offense and knowing what they're doing and why they're doing it, then you'll be a much better trader, because this is pure manipulation, guys. What I expect to happen, see, they're trying to sell, but I think less people. I think they already got what they could from them. And now I think we're going to start to see, as market begins to open, that we're going to see this have a 1348 crossover and us make another run, because again, they need to increase the price so that people are willing to sell shares that they need to grab. They've already tried to create fear and get what they could here, and trust me, I am pretty certain that they grabbed up a good chunk of shares, but now they need to do more. And let's also keep in mind that in order for those warrants to be cashed and come into play, guys, they're going to have to drive these numbers up much higher, because they're not worth it for those people holding the warrants that are able to exercise them now to do so at $10.80, because it's going to cost them $11.50 to exercise, guys, plus whatever the cost of the warrant is. And I'm talking about not just those 1 million warrants that came into the picture, but also the warrants that anybody can buy in exchange now. So this guys is not going to stay down, in my opinion. This is going to go up. If they get another chance where they see volume dying off, could they potentially try to drag the price down again? Yeah, they could, but only if we sell do they get those shares cheap. If you want to sell your shares and you want to get the heck out of this play, would you rather sell at $10.50 or would you rather sell when it gets closer to 13? Which, guys, trust me, if they, I know that those warrants initially were $1.50, I believe, which means that unless it's above $13, they're not going to pay the additional $11.50 to exercise them, guys. It's just not worth it mathematically. In my opinion, Redbox will have another good run. And I also did notice that if anybody watches Charlie from Zip Trader U, he is a wealth of information and a YouTuber that I believe you can trust. He's very trustworthy in what he says. He may not always have the timing of things correct, but if you listen to the stocks and you play it the way that you should by knowing how to map out support, resistance, good times to buy, guys, some of these stocks that he gives us are no-brainers. They do very, very well. But he, like me, is drawn to stocks that have a good deal of manipulation to them, that have been heavily shorted, that are plays that we see as very much can be hype plays if they get running, okay, guys? Which is exactly what Redbox is. And I've taken the word squeeze out of the formula when I discuss things because I believe that squeeze leads to anxiety. So when you hear me talking about a hype play, that is essentially what others are calling a squeeze play. But I feel that I'd rather call it a hype play going forward for a few reasons, and mostly because I feel it creates anxiety and unrealistic expectations in people. And I do not want people to be, holding on to their stocks, waiting for unrealistic expectations like people did with AMC, that stock's going to go to $100,000, guys. To me, do the math. How much money does the entire world have in it? And if every share of AMC went to $100,000, guys, there'd be no more stock market. There'd be no more anything. There would be severe consequences for that. The government will never, ever allow that to happen. For God's sakes, we saw what they did with Redbox and taking away the options on it and making it closed position only. Guys, they did that because Redbox, the market makers are screwed with this ticker, and they know it. And if it kept going, then not only would people be playing this as a potential, I'm going to use the word squeeze right here, but hype play, squeeze play type deal that they were playing it for, but they would also be using it as a gamma squeeze. And guys, I'm going to do a whole video explaining the difference between different types of squeezes because, there's a technical squeeze and there is a gamma squeeze. By them making sell only, they took the gamma squeeze potential off the table. They did not take the short squeeze play off the table, but they did take the gamma squeeze away. However, we still have today where that gamma ramp up with all those options that closed in the money, guys. Remember how excited we were that they hit 1201 because there was a bunch more options that became exercisable at that level. And if people exercise them, today is the day that they have to deliver. So please don't fall for this BS. Seriously, this is just a manipulation, mind games, trying to create fear. I expect that we see this stock go significantly higher than where we're at right now today. Could they potentially try one more dip? They could, but do I expect that retail is going to be smarter? Hopefully they watch this, and hopefully they are. Please, guys, do me a favor. If you could subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and share this so that other people know what's going on and what they're trying to do, because it needs to get out there if this play is ever going to hold its levels and be able to continue to the next upward phase, which, guys, I still see happening. The daily chart looks great. Please, please, please share this, get the word out. People need to know what the game is so that they can take proper offense and not, you know, fall for their crazy maneuvers and trying to manipulate you into selling your shares and giving them exactly what they need, guys. That's what people are doing when they sell. All right. Hope everyone has a great day, and thank you for watching.